Women's rights. What an important topic. It all started in 1848 with the women's suffrage movement, when women wanted to vote. Over time, women's rights have become more and more requested. They weren't allowed to have education, political participation, and were forced to do inappropriate things. Women were also not allowed to make personal choices. Many people were involved, such as Susan B. Anthony.
Susan B. Anthony was the president of the National Women's Suffrage Association, also known as the NWSA. She was a suffragist, an author, and a speaker. Susan Brow Anthony was born February 15, 1820, and died March 13, 1906. Mostly known as Susan B. Anthony, she was a leading figure in the women's voting rights movement. Anthony went on to work as a teacher. She later partnered with Elizabeth Cady Stanton and would eventually lead the National Women's Suffrage Association in 1851. Susan B. Anthony attended an anti-slavery conference. While at this conference, she met Elizabeth Cady Stanton. They then established the Women's New York State Temperance Society a year later in 1852. Soon they were fighting for women's rights. Forming the New York State Women's Rights Committee, Susan started petitions for women to have the right to own property and vote.
Fish.
Good one. Shush. The petition worked, but the fight wasn't over. Women dealt with a lot of discrimination.
Hey, ma'am, you trying to vote here? You can't do that. Get out.
Go.
Hey, get back here.
Go, go.
Born on November 12, 1815, in Jamestown, New York, Elizabeth Cady Stanton was a leading figure of the early women's movement. An eloquent writer, her Declaration of Sentiments was a revolutionary call for women's rights across a variety of spectrums. Stanton was the president of the National Women's Suffrage Association for 20 years and worked closely with Susan B. Anthony.
After a lot of work, the 19th Amendment was added, which gave women the right to vote. Before that, women had to pay property taxes, although they had no representation in levying of these taxes. Women now have all the rights men have, and that's pretty cool.